Welcome back to Apple Tree Allotment. Down here on a Monday morning this week, down here at 10 AM Monday morning. It's a fairly nice day, sun's out, hopefully the rain will hold off today. And I've got a few hours spare to get some stuff done down here. I've brought down a load of things to sow, plant and make. So yeah, loads going on today if we get the weather for it. It's all looking good down here. It's nice and quiet down here on a Monday. There's no one here, so that's really lovely. Everything's looking really good. We did pop down yesterday, just very briefly, just to drop off. I've got another pallet I can use for making compost heaps, so I dropped that off because it was quite a big one to keep at home. So we did that. Yeah, we popped down yesterday, had a quick look, and it's all looking really good. Leeks down here doing well. Probably can't really see them, but there's quite a few coming up in the first row we sowed. None in the second row yet, but I'll probably do. I brought down some seeds as well if I get time, so I might do a third row, keep adding to it, see how we get on. And then my plan is to, obviously I'll need thinning out, so I'll thin them out down the bed as we go. But yeah, pleased with that, see them coming up. Onions are looking really good this year, much better than last year. So yeah, pleased with those. A whole bed of those growing away. The only problem with this bed at the moment is I can't reach in. There's a couple of little weeds I'd like to pull out, because this fencing is sort of a metre high or so. So I might, if I pluck up the energy to get the wire clippers out, I might go around and make it a bit shorter. It doesn't need to be that high. But other than that, the onions are doing really well. And the elephant garlic, there's 3 elephant garlic at the back there, looking really good. Really pleased to see them doing well. Be nice to have a different sort of garlic this year. These 2 beds, so we've got 2 different varieties of garlic in these. And again, they're doing really well. Last year they were all nibbled by the rabbits, I assume. Yeah, they're looking really good. I have noticed a few little potatoes coming up in these, where we had all of this side in potatoes last year, so it's not surprising there's a few little ones I've missed. So I'll try and get them out so they don't. There's another one in here, yeah, just down there. So yeah, I'll try and get them out so they don't take over. But yeah, really happy with those this year. Broad beans keep coming on a bit stronger. There's a few little gaps in there, but looking good. Again, another potato in there I need to pull out, and another one in this one. Yeah, a few broad beans growing up. Peas have shot up since last week actually. More potatoes to pull out, but other than that, the peas have come up pretty well. This side's better. So yeah, we should have some nice peas growing up there. If there's some gaps, I'll fill them in the next couple of weeks. But yeah, that's good. And then over the other side, we've got, was it last week, I think, or the week before, we planted these 8 beds down to all the potatoes in packets we had, and they're starting to come up, so that's good news. There's a few little tiny sprouts coming up. There's 1 or 2 in each, so that's really good to see. I'm not sure what the sort of frost dates are going to be this year. It's quite warm at nights all the time at the moment. It's certainly above freezing, so I think we might sort of get away with a fairly early sort of frost date this year. That's my hope anyway. It seems to be generally warming up now. Over on plot 1, so this is where I'm going to be doing most of my work today. I did come down Friday. I went to the Alconbury Recycling Centre, where you can get the free what do they call it, soil improver. So I just got a load of boxes of that. I just emptied it out on here quickly. So I'm trying to make this bed a bit deeper for this year. I need to do a bit of weeding along the back, and then I can just rake this out. I will need some more again, so another day I'll go and top this up some more. But my idea is today is to plant all of the potatoes that I saved the seed from last year. So last year when we dug up all our potatoes, I set aside I think about 20 of each variety or something, just with the view this year to be able to sow them and use them, save our own seed, save some money. So that's my experiment this year. So I'm going to fill up as much of this bed as I can with those potatoes, and we'll see how they get on. I mean, this bed last year had a lot of manure in it, and it had a load of soil on it as well. So hopefully it's not a bad bed now. The wood's completely knackered on it. That definitely needs redoing, and yeah, doing something with that area. But this year I'm just sort of working with what I've got, so I'm going to fill it out with potatoes. It's a nice big space. It can just sit at the back there. Hopefully they'll do all right there. Bit of an experiment really, so we'll see. And that's what's in all these cardboard boxes. So I handily actually labelled things for once. So I've got my first early Casablanca. I even put what sort of size they came out. They are quite long because they've been in these boxes obviously since last sort of September. So yeah, they have grown away quite a lot. So we'll see how they do with that. I might have to chop some of the tops off. We've got some of our second early Charlottes. They're really gone crazy. What did I say? I didn't write on that one. That one, I think this one's the one. All the potatoes that we were using that had in our crate had started growing, so left them. Got some more first early Maris Bard. They were good big potatoes apparently. Yeah, so you never know, they might do all right. These ones look good. I even kept the bag in this one. That's good of me. So what are they? They're King Edwards, and they look pretty good actually. They look pretty good. Yeah, so I've got all of those I can plant up. There's a lot in there. So there's what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 boxes. There's at least 20 or 30 in each. So yeah, well over 100 potatoes. We put 90, I think, in the 8 beds. That's probably a similar amount of space, maybe a bit more space. So yeah, it should fit nicely in there. So that's my biggest job I want to get done. I'll do that first today, get them all in. Really nice to have some more potatoes going. And then in sort of no particular order today, I went to see my sister yesterday. She had that pallet that I picked up. They had some soil delivered for they moved recently, so they're trying to get their new garden built up. But she also had these bits of decking left over from various projects. So they said I could have those, which is very nice. So I'm going to try and make, I'm going to be able to get one level, but I'll try and do one of these beds, at least do one level. I might have to use, there's a bit of decking over there I can maybe incorporate into it. Yeah, see what we can make out of that, see if we can just get one bed, and then I'll leave the corner posts like I did on these ones, leave the corner posts higher, and I can always extend it if I find some more decking or buy some more decking at some point. So that would be really nice to get these enclosed, and then I'll only have enough room to do one, so I'll have to find some more wood for the other one at some point, but at least it's progress. And then another thing, if I get time, I've got all these beans. So these are Purple Queen, what you'd call green bean, and they've gone absolutely bonkers. I planted them on the 8th of April, so a couple of weeks ago, and they have really grown massive. They must be probably 12 inches high. I wasn't expecting them to go that quickly, so it's probably 2 weeks earlier than I'd probably want to plant them out. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to plant them out in one of these beds. I might even do it in the new one actually, one of these, and put them up some canes and see how they get on. I do have another tray like this at home that's a couple of weeks behind it, so if they die in the cold or whatever, then that's fine. But if I leave them in here, they're just going to get ruined anyway. They're not going to survive in there anyway, so they're only in tiny little modules, these little couple of 2-3 centimetres squares, so they're not going to last very long in there anyway. So I might as well get them out and give it a go. And then I brought down, I did bring down some courgettes as well. So again, this is probably 3 weeks earlier than I'd want to plant these out. Again, I've got another 2 trays of these at home going, of different varieties. And these are getting, you can see they're getting quite leggy. So they're not going to last in these pots. So at home I've planted out 2 under some plastic like bottles that I've cut off. And I think I've got some in the shed actually, so I might be able to do that down here. So I'm just going to plant them out, see what happens. If they grow, they grow. If they don't, I'll replace them with ones I've got at home. But either way, they're big anyway. So you never know what the weather's going to do you? So we'll do that. And then these are just all my tools I brought down to make those boxes. Got some nice big screws. And we found a lovely old, I think this was probably Anna's granddad's, I think. One of our relatives' old tools. It's a really nice Stanley hand drill. Really well made. So normally a lot of these beds I nailed together, which I'm never a fan of. I'd rather screw them together, but I have limited electric. I don't have electric down here obviously, and I don't really have particularly great electric tools because I don't have a great need for them at home. But that is a really nice tool to be able to make some nice beds. And obviously I brought down some screwdrivers and stuff as well, and some big screws. And if I'm feeling really energetic today, I brought down a load of seeds. I brought down some lettuce and some radish, even some parsnip that we had, and some more leeks. I'll definitely do some more leeks, I think. And some chard as well, actually. I might do some chard somewhere. We didn't eat tons of it, so I won't do as much as I did last year. But it'd be nice to have a little row of it, just for some bit of variety. Yeah, so that's all the stuff we got to do today, which is absolutely loads. We'll see what we get done. I brought down some lunch. Got the camper van with us, so I can always chill out and have lunch and have a cup of tea and all that stuff. But yeah, so first job definitely want to get done is the potatoes, because they're very leggy and love to get them in. So I'm going to weed out this bed along the back, spread out all that soil. I'm probably just going to spread that. There's just a plank laying on top there, about halfway down. So I'm just going to spread it over this half, do the best I can with that, and then I'll put the potatoes in it all, and I'll go and get some more soil whenever I can, whenever I've got time to do that. But yeah, that's my main mission today. Then the beans, and then if I get time I'll do the bed as well. But yeah, that's my very adventurous plan for today. Probably won't get it all done, but at least I can try. And I'll move across any of these potatoes that I find in various beds as well. Just pull them, chuck them over here. I'd already done a couple that were shooting up, and I just chucked these canes in so I knew where they were. So yeah, that's my jobs for today. Better stop chatting away and get on with it. I've cleaned up all of this bed, got all the little weeds out, bits of grass, that sort of stuff. There's a few little strawberries in there, so I replanted a couple in our strawberry beds to fill in some of the gaps. That's nice. And I've raked out this soil improver just over the top. It's gone sort of just over half of it, so that's good. Just a bit more depth really is what I was after, just to get the potatoes in. And then as and when I get more time, I'll get some more of it as the potatoes come up. I'll cover them up a bit, and obviously grass clippings if I can as well. So yeah, that's all it prepped, and I'm going to get the first box and get them in. I might start with first earlies up this end and try and label them as best I can. I might even put some bits of wood down in between the varieties or something. Yeah, start planting out and see how far we get. I've laid out the first early Casablanca potatoes. So I saved a lot more of these than I thought I had. So there's 40 there. I've got about another 7 or 8 little tiny ones that I don't think are worth planting. But yeah, so I've done them in rows of 5 and spaced them out just with my board. Just put sort of a bit of a gap between each row. so I can get in and water and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, that's taken up a lot more room than I anticipated. I didn't realise there was that many in that box. So that's about half that bed. So I'll do some more first earlies. They're quite good. We did well with them last year, so I think I had some Charlottes or something. So I'll carry on doing the rest of this bed, and then we'll see where we're at. I think we're going to run out of room for potatoes, but I might bring this bed, clean this potato pallets off and clean that bed up. I was even thinking of bringing this bed forward, bring it out to the edge of the path, but I'd need to get some more soil to do that. But I could certainly plant up that bit and then do some more another day. But yeah, so I'll carry on, get some more first earlies in here and see how far we can get with those. So I've got that bed all laid out on the top so I can see the nice spacing. There's 75 potatoes in there. I'm only about halfway through what I've got actually. I didn't realise there was quite that many, but that's good. So I've picked the sort of ones that look like they've got the best chance, sort of still quite plump. And I've done some King Edwards. I've got 20 King Edwards there, which we didn't do amazingly last year, but they seem to have stored well, so that's a good thing. I've got the Maris Piper in here, so I've got 15 of those, and then all of those Casablanca up there. So I'm going to get them dug in. I'll go and get a little trowel and just dig them in, and then I'll have a look what else we can get in today. I've got all those potatoes in. I did do some sort of small ridges where the potatoes are, just so that they've got a bit of depth while they get going. Hopefully I'll be able to get some more soil improver on compost and give them a bit more space as well as they grow up. But that's all that bed in, so there was 75 I think in there. So I've got all of that. I've still got quite a few left, so I think that I remember that I was sort of planning on doing all of our potatoes from this. I didn't realise that I'd get the sort of free ones from the garden centre, so that's why I've got so many, I think. But that's good. Too many's better than not enough, so that's cool. That's in. I might save the rest and do another week or another day. I'm sort of having a pottering around today, try and clear up a little bit. I've just moved from this corner behind here. There's a sort of rubbish corner at the moment. There's a little tree in there. I just asked one of the committee members to pop down for a little bit about moving it into the orchard, so I might do that. He said do it in the autumn, so I guess that will have to sort of wait there till autumn. But sort of using this little corner as a bit of a dumping patch at the moment for bricks and bits of wood and stuff, which is okay. Every allotment ends up with a bit like that, I think. But I have taken out, there was a rhubarb plant in there that another few weeks will be smothered by all the weeds and grass in there and stuff. So I've pulled that out and put it in this back bed here, giving it a lot of room. Hopefully, I mean, we've got 2 rhubarb plants at home in the front garden, and they do okay. They're not amazing. They don't get big like you see some other people's. So it'd be nice if we had some down here that did a bit better. So I've put one in there. It'd be nice to get another one to fill this space up. So I'll see if I can get one from somewhere, perhaps go to a garden centre or something. Or I think I did have some seeds at some point. So yeah, but it'd be nice if that grew up. I can always use this space this year for lettuce or radish or something like that. Yeah, I thought I'd move that, see if it can make a go of itself a bit better, see if it'll grow a bit bigger than that. And then I can use the rest of this space to store some wood around the tree, give the tree room to grow, but at least I've got a bit of space at the back there. I can put some bits of wood on. Ideally I want to tidy up all this area, and then I could perhaps put some more potatoes in there. I've got this sort of pile of doom at the moment of offcuts of wood, so I might move some of that into the corner, and I was going to use them pallets to build another compost bin there. So we've got 2 on the go, trying to build some more of our own compost. Yeah, and then that would get rid of the compost from over here. the pallets over here, and I can use this space maybe for some more potatoes another day. Just been watching the farmer in the background. I think he's disking over there. But yeah, so that's it. I think I'll leave the potatoes for now. Maybe if I've tidied up that area, I might put some more in. But I think I should definitely get these beans in, make sure they're done. So I'm probably going to put them in this bed, I think. I might nick some of the soil out of another bed to fill it up a bit more. See how deep it is. Probably don't need too much for beans, I guess. Yeah, and I'll get some canes out. I can climb up some canes. Although I think they are a dwarf bush variety, so they might not need so many canes. I'll have a look what they were. Yeah, but that's my next job, I think. I'll plant them all out in here and give them a chance. If they die off, I'll replant. I'll resow some seeds when I get home, maybe in this part, and we can always plant out some more. A couple of weeks' time when the frost has definitely passed. So yeah, let's get them in the ground. So I filled this bed up a little bit more, so I've got a bit more soil for these beans. I just scraped off this bed that didn't have a raised box. I just scraped off the top of that, put it in there. Make it easier for me to make the bed a nice size, and I can cut this grass back a bit and what have you, and then I'll refill it with some new compost when it's ready. But I can get all the others planted up before I need to do that. So that bed's a little bit deeper now. Got us a bit more nice soil in there. Yeah, so I'll get all these beans in now, I think. Got all the beans in. Had a look what they were. They were sort of a bush bean, so they don't necessarily need like a trellis or like canes like the peas do. I put a few sticks in there just to sort of help them out a little bit. We'll see how they get on. Yeah, it should be within 2 months you should get beans. So yeah, we'll see what happens. See if they survive the sort of temperatures at night and whatever. If not, I've got some more that I'll get going now, and then by the time I'm ready to plant out, they'll be ready to go in. But yeah, you never know, worth a try. So they're in there. I hope ideally I could do with some fencing around this. I think I just sort of thought about that. Otherwise I might get nibbled. So I'm gonna have a look in the shed and see if I can find anything to make some fencing. I haven't got such good sort of supports on this bed to tie them to, but yeah, I'll have a look, see what I can find to do that. And then ideally I'd like to get that bed made just so it sort of tidies up this space a bit. I can think about filling it another day. So yeah, I might have a look for a fence and then move on to that bed, see if I can get a nice at least a one level little bed going on there. So a bit of a success. I found a bit of wire netting in the shed. It wasn't long enough, so I cut it in half height wise, joined it all together. Still not quite long enough for the whole bed, but it goes around all my beans, so we'll call that a win for today. Probably work okay in some of the smaller beds on the other side actually, so not a waste. But yeah, I'll keep the rabbits off my beans for a few weeks, so that's brilliant. So they're all in. Probably do with a little bit of water in, I think. It's probably going to rain later, but I might give them a little bit of water and the rhubarb. So that's all good. Next project, I've sort of started the next project looking for bits of wood, seeing what I could use for that. I started clearing out this corner. It's been bugging me for like 2 years now. That's a big pile of rubbish. So I've thrown some of it on the bonfire that they have at the site, the communal site. The bits are all rotten, and I've saved the bits that are good, put them in the corner by the little tree. And I was just sorting out posts, see what I could use for this bed. So I'm just going to finish off, get all those bits of wood out. There's a bit of a sort of weird lump there where I think someone probably did have a compost heap or something there at some point. So yeah, I might have to flatten that out or something. But yeah, it'd be good to get another compost heap going there. Baby bunnies sleeping under my pile of wood. That's where they live. So I've got a whole new bed built. So I've been through and dug out this end because all the grass was growing over the bed, and flattened it out as best as I can. And we've used these new bits of wood, new bits of decking, and an old bit at the end, which is not amazing, but it'll do for a little while. And I found these 4 uprights in our wood pile, so I just cut them to the same length. I've left them super long just so we can wrap fencing around it, whatever. Obviously you can cut it down a bit later on, but at least starting out like that, it's good, and also means I can attach some more decking around the sides to make it taller if I can get some. So that's brilliant. I've dug it over a little bit to get all the sort of roots and bits out that are in the bottom, and just loosen up that really heavy clay. And I've scraped off the soil that was on this half of the bed into there, all the good bits anyway, just to give it something to start with. I could do with some more compost or something before I plant it up. So I've scraped this area clear so I can hopefully find some wood or something to build that one up. That would be ideal. But yeah, that's a huge step forward. I've finished clearing up all the wood pile over here, so it's all gone from there. I do have this very hard layer of clay left there, which I'm going to try and dig out and flatten as best I can, so I can put a compost heap there, but we'll see how that goes. So everything went over in this corner. I chucked away a lot of the stuff that was too small or rotten. Had a bit of a clear out, put it on the communal bonfire, and kept what I think I need for now. So yeah, it's not too bad there, but that means once I've cleared that pile of soil, I can use the 3 brown pallets to make a compost heap. I was going to keep, I've got this blue one and another one at home. I was going to use those to put, when I do finally move the IBC tank over to the shed, I might make a platform out of those instead of using that apple cart. I think it might be stronger, and it doesn't need to be as high as it is at the moment. So that's good. Fence is all done there. Beans looking happy. Got that done. I've got them 2 courgettes that could go somewhere, maybe here. I've got that to do if I've got the energy to dig it out. And then yeah, I might do a row of leeks next. Get that in, that's a nice easy job. Go and sow some seeds. Yeah. So I've sowed some more rows of leeks. I've got, I think it's 6 rows now. So it's half of the bed. So that's good for when I have to thin them out. That should fill up that bed nicely. Over here, I've got the compost heap made. I levelled it out as much as I could, and I've just cable tied these 3 pallets in a U shape at the moment. The idea is, I mean, hopefully that's going to move at some point, so I'll remake it. But the idea is I'm just going to temporarily stick them together, and I'll fill this up. We've got a load of manure hopefully coming soon from someone we know, so I'll fill that up as much as I can, and that can just stay there as long as it needs to. And when this moves, I can rejig it a little bit. The other compost heap behind there as well. So I think that's about it for today. It's 3:30, I think, so I've been here since 10. That's a pretty good day. I think that's the longest I've ever spent down the plot. Loads done. Rhubarb in, moved beans, made a new bed, filled it up a bit, compost heap, leeks, moved all that wood, loads of stuff. So yeah, really happy with that. Would have took me weeks to do that an hour at a time, so that's really good. Nice to get all those jobs done. It means we can start getting everything in these beds over here. Hopefully I'll get some more compost or something for these beds, and at some point do something with that space. But at least we've got one of those bits sorted out, and we can think about stuff going in there. Hopefully this will all be different types of beans, I think, and peas, maybe courgettes. I'm thinking once the onions and garlic come out, and maybe the broad beans, that will all be pumpkins. Hope some years it seems to pan out about the right time, so hopefully that'll work out. If not, they can start off over here anyway, in these beds, do a bit of a mix. That would be nice. Quite like the idea of lots of green beans and things things we can freeze and use quickly and easily. And then that bed over the back there, I've just tidied it up a little bit, but it needs a weed, so next time I come down I'll perhaps weed this up and finish putting perhaps fill it with potatoes, because it's not the best position, it's not the best light, and it's not the best soil. But yeah, that would be nice. Stops the as all the rabbits and pheasants and things hop through this fence, it would they're not really interested in the potatoes, so that would be a good place to put them. Yep, loads of potatoes in, so that's good. Love potatoes at the plot. Yeah, so I think that's everything for today. Hope you enjoyed a bit of a longer video today, and a long day. Go home now and do other things I was supposed to do today. Start decorating and make some stickers and stuff like that. So yeah, hope you enjoyed that, and look forward to talking to you next time.